Hey, what's up? It's me, Gazbot. Well, it's been a little while since I did a art process video or a vloggy sort of catch-up video. I was doing the art catch-up with Mike Emmerich, and I've done a few other things here and there, but I've really fallen behind on a lot of videos. And I have many videos that I've shot that I just haven't had time to edit and put up, and it's because I've been focusing more on my art and my comic and doing a lot of conventions and a lot of traveling. I did G-Fest in Chicago, and I was out in New Jersey for a wedding, and then I was down at San Diego Comic-Con, and I took footage to all these places, but I've just been really buckling down and trying to work on the art more than on videos. Not that I don't enjoy videos, I'm doing a video now, obviously, but even with stuff like San Diego Comic-Con, I've been there for like 8 years in a row, and I was like, what more do I have to say? It's fun, it's awesome, here's more of the same. But I did want to talk a little bit about the show I'm going to be doing in about a week and a half, which is Power Morphicon down in Anaheim, California. They are sold out online, but I think you can still buy tickets at the door. And it's the biggest Power Ranger convention there is in America, and I believe the world. It's only once every 2 years. I went 2 years ago as a fan. Now I'm going to be going to sell my art, and I've been busting my butt to get some new art done. I already had some Power Rangers art, and I have some Godzilla and other things that are sort of on topic, but I wanted to have a bunch of headshots of all the Mighty Morphin and some of the other guests. Ideally, I wanted to have one of every single guest that was going to be there. Time just didn't allow that to happen. I am also doing Ranger Stop in November in Florida. Maybe by then I'll have the guests for there, but time is a precious commodity. I do suggest you spend it watching this video and then maybe going to Power Morphicon. What's this video? Well, as the thumbnail indicated, I'm drawing this person here, this woman, this lady, this legend, the pink Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, which could be Kimberly, could be Catherine, but either way, this is who I'm doing. It is the head. I looked at this legacy figure as well as online reference, and let's watch me do it now, and I'll talk to you more about things.
So here we go. Now this is obviously sped up footage. This was, I don't know, a couple hours, but you're going to watch it in just a few minutes. You can see I pull up a lot of reference. I use Aniki cosplay for some of the turnarounds of the helmet, as well as a still shot from the show, and it looks like a drawing someone else did that I like the shading on. And I go in and I do a rough pose that was sort of, I had done all five of them out. That was that under sketch that took me like 2 seconds. Then I go in and I kind of do a cleanup of that to make it more on model. And then this is where I'm putting in what I would consider my pencil lines, quote unquote, even though they're digital. And once I get the lines how I want them, then I go in and ink it. So even though these are kind of completed lines, the line quality is a little rough. The details are correct, but the line quality and the line weight is not what I want it to be at this stage. Now, while I'm working on this, I will talk a little bit about what I was saying. Power Morphicon, held once every 2 years. This year it is August 17th through the 19th. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Although there is a special Thursday event. I think it's already sold out, but you can actually go to the Command Center building. And Austin St. John, who played the original Red Ranger in America, Jason, will be there Thursday night doing a meet and greet, kind of take photos and signatures that you have to pay for, of course, but I don't think you even have to pay to go see him. You may not even need a badge. You could just show up and be involved in that. I would recommend looking at the website for more details on that, but that's a special thing. If you live in the area and don't have a ticket, but you want to just go get a picture with him, that's a way you could do that. The rest of the time, I will be on the show floor selling my art, and there are panels and there are guests. I might be able to go to a few things afterwards because the show floor closes, I think, at 5 or 6, and then there's still panels until like 9, and there's like a dance and a costume thing. And I do have a Power Rangers cosplay, which I've only worn once before, that I had intended to maybe wear if I went to the con again, although I wasn't planning on working it. Now that I'm working it, I don't know. I'm going to bring it. We'll see what happens. But if you are in the area and you are a Power Rangers fan or just a fan of conventions, I had a lot of fun last time I went, and I do recommend going again. Not just to see me, although that would be great, but they have all kinds of guests. They have the most Power Ranger guests at any show. Like I'll just open up just off the top of my head. It looks like they have most of the Mighty Morphin cast, with the exception, ironically, of Kimberly, although they will have Catherine, who is the second Pink Ranger to wear this helmet. Jason David Frank's going to be there. Tommy the Green Ranger, I think either the first time he's there or the first time he's there in a while. And then they have Bulk and Skull and Zordon, and that's just from the original one. Then they have Rangers from almost every season, including Turbo, In Space, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force, blah 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 blah. Almost everybody is represented in some way, shape, or form. Every season, I should say. And you could get photos and autographs, all the usual stuff. But they have a lot of fun panels. They also have a lot of podcasters and people like that are like sort of ancillary, not just artists like me, but more famous type people. And one of the really cool things is that Scott Zilliner runs this, and he also runs Robo Toy Fest and a few other things. And I kind of know him a little bit through toy shows. I guess we're vaguely acquaintances would be the best way to put it. But he does a lot of these shows, and he takes a lot of trips to Japan. And he had Japan World Heroes last year, and he is able to get Japanese celebrities, which is a little bit more unusual. In recent days, you sometimes see Godzilla actors and Ultraman actors, but he's been able to get some Sentai actors and some Kamen Rider actors. And for this show, he's going to have three. The most noteworthy to me is, and forgive my pronunciation here, Hisashi Sakai, who played the White Ranger in Die Ranger. Tommy, the White Ranger in Mighty Morphin, was played by a younger actor in Die Ranger, and that actor is going to be there, as well as two others. One from other Sentai series, who I don't know, I'm not as familiar with, and one who is a suit actor. They're all Sentai actors, but the other two are more suit actors from shows that I may have not have seen. And like I said, they're going to have Boom Studios there because they do the comic book, and they're going to have Hasbro there because they now own the toy license, and it's going to be a good time. Going back to the art here, you can see well, you can't see this, but what I tried to do is, since I was doing a series of all of the Rangers on this team, I wanted to make the gray. There you can see. I was looking at red, which I had already done, and I wanted to match the gray of the silver of the mouth, and I wanted to match the color I used for shading. And so even though the pink is different, I wanted all the white and silver to be the same because they would be the same on these helmets, on these costumes, on these characters. And if I was doing a one-off, I didn't worry about it too much. And some other teams I had done a one-off, and then what I've done now is if I do any other from those teams, I go back and try to match the background, try to match the color, try to match the shading. So it looks like they all exist in the same universe. They're all in the same place. Because even though I'm selling these separately, I can imagine a lot of people wanting to buy several or maybe a full team. And if they hang them on their wall, I want them to look like they go together, not just because of the characters, but color-wise, thematically. And so you can see here too, I bring in the red that was the background of Jason / Rocky, the Red Ranger, and now I'm doing a similar effect. I make it pink because she's the Pink Ranger, but I use the same amount of layers and the same sort of highlight and everything, as well as the same sort of shading. And I was pretty happy with the result. And I ended up doing the entire team this way. I did another video of the White Ranger. I might put that up later if I have time. But this is sort of my process for getting this at like 65 times speed or something like that. So yeah, I have a couple more trips coming up. There's the Pink Ranger. Hopefully I'll see a Power Morphicon. And thanks for watching.